Okay, hey guys, let's talk about accounting software. Let's talk about the way that Allmoxy works in conjunction with your accounting software in the context of day-to-day operations. So the first thing that I want to talk about, and I know we've already gone over this, but it's worth repeating again, Allmoxy is not a standalone accounting software. It doesn't try to be. It is made to be an enhancement to your current accounting software. Allmoxy is meant to be the front end of your accounting software. It's the thing that interfaces with the customers. In other words, it's the link between your accounting software and your customers. And as such, it includes the tools necessary to fulfill that relationship. So we've already gone over in other classes financial settings and discounting and a whole host of other things that go into this. So in this class, we're just going to talk about the day-to-day operational side of the way the data flows between your accounting software, your customers, and vice versa. Okay, so there are a few things to tackle here. One of those things is the realization that there are lots of accounting software and everyone has their favorite, and each of those deal with data in different ways. Okay, then there's the offline versus online debate. Let's just look at QuickBooks, for example. They offer an online version of QuickBooks and an offline version of QuickBooks. So the offline version you just install on your computer. The online version obviously uses a web interface. So if you are using any of the online versions of accounting software, such as some of the ones you see here, then you can use a service called Zapier. I recommend looking into this. And I've talked about this in other classes. Go to zapier.com. And since Allmoxy is part of the Zapier platform, what that means is you can connect Allmoxy automatically to all of these. And you can do that yourself, or you can check out our service providers page for a list of other companies that could help you with this project. If you are using an offline version of an accounting software, for example, QuickBooks Desktop, there are tools like Transaction Pro. So I can't go through all the different scenarios and give solutions for each one. The point being right now is that if you can use an online version, what I'm about to show you can be completely automated. And if you're doing an offline version to QuickBooks or Sage or any other accounting suites, then the process is a little bit more manual. So this is how most people would do it. Okay, so most of this day-to-day operations is going to happen in the queues. So you can find those here under your financial tab. Export invoices queue, export credit memos, and export transactions. Okay, so these are not reports, they are queues. They are part of a workflow. So these are meant to populate and then move on to your accounting software. So if we're looking at the export invoices queue, I'm not going to select all these because this is a demo site and it has just tons of data in it. I'm just going to pick some and scroll down. So at the end of a day, or however many times a day you want to do this, or week, whatever's good for your company, you're going to come in here, you're going to select the ones that you want to go out, and you're going to use this tool. Now typically you're going to do an export and clear. So once you export them, they come off this queue and you know you've already done them. If for some reason you just need to clear them or export them without clearing them, you have these options as well. Now you can create batches so that this export, once it goes out, is not lost forever. You do that by either leaving this blank and it'll just use a date, which is what I would recommend, and leaving this checked. So let's say at the end of the day, I check the ones I want, usually all of them, and then I go export and clear. So you see my browser downloaded this file, and that's the file that can then be imported into my accounting software. So you can see the different pieces of data that it includes and will send to your accounting software. Should be everything you need to import an invoice into your software. So notice those disappeared because I did export and clear. Let's say I needed to get back to that batch and redo it. I would just scroll up here and come up here to the invoice batches. Now you'll notice I didn't give it a name, so it used today's date and time. Sorry, it was this one. So I can click on it and I have these options. I can delete it or export it. So in case it didn't work or something, there we go. And the other ones work basically just the same. Here's our credit memos. And you can see it's the same type of setup, and also transactions. And this is a demo site, so it doesn't have any transactions. So that's basically it. Allmoxy is the front interface, the piece that sits between the customer and the accounting software. It can be automated online using Zaps, or it can just be manually done using these 3 export tools. And that is the day-to-day workflow with your accounting software.